Good morning, students. In the last class, we have started the new unit. In that A reading, Puru the Brave, we have started that lesson and we have completed some part of the lesson, isn't it? I think you have remembered the story till where we have completed in the last class. It was the story about Alexander, who was the king of Macedonia, and he has conquered Greece, Persia, isn't it? Also made several Indian kingdoms his vassals, isn't it? So, it in that he was having how many in this lesson we have seen how many characters Alexander and the Puru and his four generals and also six soldiers, isn't it? So we have seen the discussion between Alexander and his generals about the greatness of Indian soldiers and their fighting skills, isn't it? And also about the famous fighter of India. He is Puru, isn't it? About Puru also they were discussing. In that time, a soldier uh, enters the courtyard of Alexander and he tells about Puru, isn't it? So, till there we have seen the lesson. Today we'll be seeing the remaining part. Soldier, sir, Puru has been brought to the camp. So the soldier has entered the court of Alexander and he was telling to Alexander that, sir, Puru has been brought to the camp. So he's telling that we have brought Puru to the camp. Then Alexander, what did he say? Has he been put in chains? So Alexander is questioning that, is he still in chains? Then the soldier said, yes, your majesty. Already I have told you the meaning of your majesty means the way of addressing royal people. Then what did the soldier said? Yes, he is still in chains. Then Alexander, what did he say? Go and remove the chains and bring him in. I don't want to see a brave man in chains. So Alexander said that you go and remove the chains of that person and bring him to the court, bring him in. And he said he don't want to see a brave man in chains. So as Puru is very brave, he don't want to see a brave person in chains. So he wanted to remove those chains. Who? Alexander. Then the soldier bows and goes out. Then Alexander, what did he say? They should not have put him in chains. He is a king besides being a great soldier. So Alexander is telling that he should not have put in chains because he is a king besides he is a great soldier. He is telling that he is not only a king but he is also a great soldier. So they shouldn't have put him in chains. So like that he is telling, who Alexander is telling. Puru enters with four Greek soldiers following him. Alexander and the generals stand up to greet him. Puru joins the palms of his hands and raises them to his forehead to return the greeting. So when Puru enters the courtyard of Alexander, uh, Puru enters with four Greek soldiers. Means they were following, Puru were followed by four Greek soldiers. Then when he entered, Alexander and his generals stand up to greet him. By seeing that, what did Puru do? Puru joined the palms of his hands and raises them to his forehead to return the greet. So Puru also joined his hands and he raised them to his forehead to greet them in return. Whom? Alexander and his generals. Alexander, to the soldiers, "You may go." So Alexander said the soldiers that you may go. Then the soldiers bow and they go out. Then Alexander, he'll be talking to Puru. What? Well, how are you, king? Then Alexander is asking to Puru that, how are you, king? Then Puru, my name is Puru. Then Puru will be replying saying that my name is Puru. Then Alexander says, all right, are you sorry for the mistake you made, Puru? Then Alexander is asking that, do you feel sorry for the mistake which you have done? Then Puru said, I made no mistake, sir. Then Puru was telling that I didn't made any mistake, sir. Then Alexander, didn't you reject you didn't you reject my proposal? Then Alexander was asking that, didn't you reject my proposal? Then what he is saying, as Alexander has given a proposal, Puru has rejected it. So Alexander is questioning that, didn't you rejected my proposal? Then Puru, I did. I refuse to be your vassal. Vassal means a man promising to fight for a king in return for the right to hold land. So, what did Alexander say? What did Puru say? Yes, I have rejected because I refuse to be, means he don't want to be his vassal, so that's why he has rejected his offer. Then Alexander said, do you know that many kings have gladly agreed to be my vassals? Then Alexander said that, do you know so many kings have accepted very happily to be my vassals? Then Puru said, I know that, and I also know that none of them is Puru. Then he is telling that, I know that other kings have accepted it, and also I know that none of them is Puru, means those kings are not like me. That's why they have accepted. Then the first general, with soft noise, he is telling to second general what, he is indeed a very proud man. Then first general is slowly telling to the second general that he is a very proud man. Then Alexander, don't you realize that you are my prisoner? Then Alexander is asking that, don't you realize that you are my prisoner? So he questioned Puru. So he questioned Puru that, don't you realize means, don't you understand that you are my prisoner? Then Puru said, I do, but that doesn't make any difference to me. I am still the lawful king of my country. So what did Puru replied? Though I am your prisoner, it doesn't make any difference to me. So though he is a prisoner, he don't feel any difference because he is still the lawful king of his country. So that's why it doesn't make any difference to Puru. Then Alexander, how shall I treat you? Then Alexander asked Puru how to treat him. Then Puru, as a king, should treat another king. Then Puru replied, as a king should treat another king. So as you are a king, you have to treat the same way to the other king. Then Alexander, Puru, you are a brave man. I am pleased with you. I want to make friends with you. Will you be a friend to me? Then Alexander said to Puru that you are a brave man and I am pleased with you. And he want to make friendship with Puru. So he is asking, will you be my friend? Then Puru said, on one condition. When Alexander asked Puru to be his friend, Puru said, it is on one condition I will be your friend. Then Alexander asked, what is that condition? Then Puru said, my kingdom should remain independent and you should treat me as your equal. Then Puru said, my kingdom should be independent only. Means it should remain independent, and also you have to treat me as your, means as your equal, means you have to treat me as your how you treat yourself, you have to treat me also in the same way. In that condition he'll be his friend. So what is the condition? He should treat his he should leave his kingdom independent, and he has to treat equally to him. So by listening that, Alexander agreed after a pause. So after, means when he said those words, Alexander was little bit quiet, and he, after a pause, he replied, I agree. Means he agreed. I am proud of your friendship, my brother. Then Alexander said, after accepting the condition, he said that I am proud to be your friend, brother. Then Puru, I'll do my best to be worthy of the friendship of Alexander the Great. Then Puru said, I will do my best to keep the value of our friendship of Alexander the Great. Then the generals bowed to Alexander and Puru. After that, the generals bow to Alexander and Puru. So this is the story, and there are some hard words. Macedonia, conquered. Alexander, Gelam, battle, fought, believe, defeat, majesty, soldiers, skillful, highness, warfare, wonderful, continued, capture, frightened, victories, coward, greeting, proposal, vassal, prisoner, condition, kingdom, independent. And your home assignment is write hard words in your notebooks. Students, I have given you hard words. Write them neatly in your notebooks without any spelling mistakes, and also learn the spellings of those hard words. And we'll be completing the remaining part of the lesson in the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.